Well. Shopping for a car?
Yep, Carvana made financing a car as smooth as can be.
Oh, yeah?
I got pre-qualified instantly and had real terms personalized just for me.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
Well, I got to browse thousands of car options on Carvana, all within my budget.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
It does. I actually wanted a car that seemed out of my range, but I was able to add a cosigner and found my dream car.
It doesn't get much...
Oh, it gets smoother. It's getting delivered tomorrow.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get pre-qualified today.
This is the smell of the leftover tuna fish sandwich you left in your lunchbox over the weekend in a wimpy trash bag.
Wimpy!
Blech. And this is the smell of that same sandwich in a hefty, ultra-strong trash bag.
Hefty!
Ah, smell the difference? Hefty Ultra Strong has Arm & Hammer with continuous odor control, so no matter what's inside your trash, you can stay one step ahead of stinky. And for bigger jobs, try the superior strength of Hefty Large Black Bags.
Hello, good morning, angels, and welcome back to Morning Ray. I'm your host, Lani or Alana, and I'm so excited for this week's episode. I have an incredible guest on. Her name is Tamara Fitness on Instagram, and she also is really well known on TikTok with over 400,000 followers. She is officially an Orange Theory coach or trainer. She posts workout programs. She even has her own fitness gym guide and dumbbell guide available on her website. She is amazing. Her catchphrase is "Health is hot," which is the title of today's episode. But we get into a really great and interesting discussion. We talk from how did she start her TikTok and her Instagram? Was she always into health and fitness? Advice she would give to someone looking to start their fitness journey, her relationship with food and fitness, and all the other good stuff. We also do a lot of fun rapid fire at the end, so stay tuned for that. But until then, I'm going to give you a little update, a life update. I've never really done this on the pod, but a life update, and then we're going to go into our segments like our weekly intention, tip of the week, and current faves. So my little life update is that I have resigned from working at Lulu. If you watched my recent YouTube video, you would know that I handed in my 2 weeks, about 2 weeks ago, actually on the day that this episode is going live. It is my last day working. So sad, very bittersweet. But it was just getting too overwhelming with my full-time job as a social media manager at a social media agency, doing all this fun stuff with my social media platforms, school, having a life, and trying to enjoy summer while it's here. You know, it's very busy. So I had to unfortunately close that chapter. I love Lulu so much. And if you want to hear more about why I had to hand in my resignation and why this is so emotional and monumental to me, definitely check out my latest YouTube video. You'll get a greater insight into that. But let's get into my weekly intention. So my weekly intention is to be more intentional with my meals and to really focus on diversifying it. I've been really routinely with my meals. My mom even pointed it out to me. But I've just been having the same things on repeat out of habit. And I think it's because I'm a pescatarian and I've been trying to have a lot more whole foods. So I'm leaning and going towards a lot of the same proteins like salmon burgers and salmon poke and canned tuna and olive oil of that sort. So I want to focus on diversifying my meals, specifically my proteins. So maybe having white fish or incorporating some legumes like chickpeas and lentils and beans back into my diet, maybe having some tempeh, and just really diversifying it, not only to change up my meals and make it more fun, but it's also really good for your gut health. I spoke about this a while ago, how I wanted to diversify what I was eating for my gut microbiome to encourage a diverse microbiome in my gut and to improve gut health. So that is my weekly intention, which leads me into the tip of the week. So my tip of the week is to think ahead for lunch and dinner. So What do I mean by this? Meal prep a little. I'm not necessarily saying to get those meal prep containers out and put your chicken and broccoli and rice into your containers for 5 days a week. It's more so having your fresh fruits and veggies prepped, whether they are chopped up and ready to go, whether you maybe roast sweet potatoes or cook some vegetables in a way that you really like, or maybe you have a carb prep, so you have a container of rice prepped out, or maybe pasta. Do you have your favorite proteins meal prepped and ready to go? For example, you have like chicken and salmon and tofu already. It will make it really easy to just grab and go and have your lunch and dinner made easily for you. Are you thinking ahead for lunch and dinner and taking out your salmon to defrost, or are you picking it up fresh? Stuff like that. And I think that will be really helpful for me as well in diversifying my meals by thinking ahead and planning ahead and putting myself first when it comes to my meals, instead of just like waiting until I'm hungry and then I just make whatever first comes to my mind. That leads me into my current favorites, and my first current fave is orange everything. I recently got my nails redone, and every single design I was looking at had to have orange in it. And I want the orange set from the Ritzia body line, like the sports bra and biker shorts in orange. And I just want orange everything. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the 70s fashion trends coming back, but I'm absolutely obsessed, and you should be too. Just saying. Just saying. If you don't like orange, just give it a try. I highly recommend. That brings me into my second current fave, and it's the hair care line Juice, which is by Araya, which I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, Araya, which is a local hair salon in Toronto. They came out with their products a bit ago. They launched with the hair mask, and then since have expanded into shampoos, conditioners, hair oils, lip balms, and glosses, and all that stuff. And I've been wanting to try it for so long, but I just never took the jump. But they recently kindly sent me product, and I tried it out, and girls, my hair looks so healthy. It's frizz free. My curls are, I don't even know the word. It's the end of the day, and they're just like thriving. They're thriving. That's the word I want. They look amazing in my opinion, and the product feels good. It's natural. It's free of like all that shit, you know. The packaging is cute, and if you've been debating it, especially if you're from Toronto and know of the brand Juice, I highly recommend, and I'll have it linked in the show notes so you can go and check that out. And my third and final favorite is green juice. Who would have thought that Lani, yes, I'm talking about myself in the third person, would be putting green juice on her current faves? Because I would never think that. But hear me out. I started working with this company from Montreal called Dose, and they're a cold pressed juice company. And I've been wanting to work with them for a while because I've been really interested in their products. They have cold pressed juices and smoothies and booster shots and all that stuff. And so I got some of their juices sent to me, and I kid you not, I'm obsessed with two of their green juices that I've tried so far, which are Cactus and Fresh. I'm having green juices pretty regularly. I want to say at least like every 2 to 3 days I'm having one, and I'm really not mad about it. So if you live in Canada and want to try out Dose, you can use Lani15, Lani, Lani, then the number 15. Quick break to talk about today's sponsor, Work Patterns. Thank you so much for sponsoring Morning Ray. Work Patterns is the people management app that gives managers tools for unlocking the potential of their teams. Being a great manager has never been harder. The relationship between employees and their managers is a key driver of workplace productivity and engagement. We believe that with the right tools, managers can be exceptional leaders. Work Patterns is designed to make team management easier, enabling continuous one-on-one feedback, collaborative meetings, recognition, goal tracking, and workflow management all in one place. I know right now a lot of us are working remotely. It can be difficult to not only manage your employees, but as an employee, it can be difficult to stay on top of all the work, meetings, and whatnot you have going on. And that's where Work Patterns comes into play. Whether you're a manager struggling to stay on top of things or a CEO whose organization has outgrown its systems, Work Patterns can help. we've reimagined manager tools for today's working relationships. We provide the guidance and streamlined workflows managers need to stay organized with a structure for unlocking the potential of their teams. If you're interested in trying out Work Patterns for free, you can go to workpatterns.com. That's WORKPATTERNS.com, COM, and try it out today for free. I'll have it linked in the show notes below. Thank you, Work Patterns, for sponsoring today's episode of Morning Ray. So I'm so excited to have Tamara on the podcast. I know you are all going to love this episode so much. If you like it, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. DM me your favorite part from this episode to Morning Ray Podcast on Instagram, and tag me if you are listening to the podcast on your Instagram stories. Take a screenshot, post it to your stories, and tag me Lani Be Fit and Morning Ray Podcast, and I hope you enjoy. Welcome to Morning Ray. I'm here with Tamara. I'm so excited to have you on Morning Ray.
I'm so excited to be here. This is my first podcast, which is definitely exciting. I've never thought that I would be on a podcast. I always get asked, like, hey, could you do a podcast? Like, have you ever thought about doing a podcast? And I'm just like, I can talk way too much to the point where my podcast will be like Joe Rogan, where it's like pushing 4 hours.
Yeah, no, people were asking me to start one, and I kind of just started it on a whim. And you know what? When you're like talking on a recording by yourself, sometimes like you think you can talk for so long, and then you think you've been talking for so long and it's only been like 25 minutes, and you're like, I need this to be 30 or like 40, whatever you're doing, and it can be difficult.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
But anyways, for those who don't know you, who are you, where are you from, and what is your zodiac sign?
Oh, shit. Oh, wait. Am I allowed to cuss on here?
Yes, you are. You can swear as much as you like.
Okay. Well, hey, everybody. My name is Tamara Anthony. My Instagram is tamara.fitness with 3 S's on the end of that bitch. I'm just your average girl. I don't know. I went to study kinesiology at Cal State San Marcos, and then basically after that, pursued my passion with fitness. I recently became an Orange Theory coach. I've been doing all my social media stuff, which I'm sure is what you guys have, multiple guides. It's been great. It's been so much fun. Right now, I live in San Diego. I'm originally from Orange County, but I don't know. I'm just way more of a San Diego person. The vibe there is just way chiller. Everybody's nicer. I don't know. I feel like everybody knows what OC or has like a pre-assumed assumption. I just said the same word twice, but has an assumption about Orange County, and like kind of true. So that's why I like San Diego. Definitely a lot better. And I'm a Leo. I don't know why I really hate telling people I'm a Leo, because I feel like they have such a bad rep. Aren't you a Leo?
Yes, I'm a Leo. I feel like we can come off as like very self-centered and obnoxious and like wanting to be the star of the show, which I mean, at some points I do have those character traits, but I think we're really like, not to like pump ourselves up and be like kind of out there, but I think we can be really sweet, like down to earth people too.
Totally. Yeah. Well, I don't really understand like all of the astrology shit that well. I want to learn more about it, but I had this girl break down my chart. So apparently I am I don't even know how to say it. It's like a rising Leo, sun in Sagittarius, and then an Aries. I just know I'm a Leo, Sagittarius, and an Aries. So I don't even know what that means. Like, am I a Leo?
So from my research, I still don't know that much, but your sun sign is like the most common sign that everyone knows. It's based on like your birthday and just your birthday, like the date of the year. And then your rising sign, I believe, is like your emotions and how you communicate. No, I think it's just your emotions and like your outward, like how other people view you. And then
that's my Sagittarius.
Yes. And then your moon sign is like how you communicate. So my moon sign is a Gemini, which can be a little two-faced apparently. My therapist likes to tell me I have like a paradox going inside of me, because I can be really like self-confident and have high self-esteem in some areas of my life, and then in other areas it could be the total opposite. So
literally same. People are like, you're the center of attention, like you like being the star of the show. I'm like, okay, well, I'm practicing to be an Orange Theory coach, and every time I go on mic, I feel like I'm going to pee my pants. I'm so scared. Like it's so, I don't know.
I feel like my list of things to buy, to do, activities that involve spending money is never ending around the holidays, making the idea of investing and saving and thinking about your future to be a little bit more challenging, a little bit more overwhelming. Acorns makes it easy to start automatically saving and investing for you, your kids, and your retirement, even during the holidays. You don't need to be an expert. Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that matches you. You don't need a ton of time. You can create your Acorns account and start automatically investing your money in just 5 minutes. You don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you get started with the spare money you've got right now. That could be $5 a day or even just your spare change. That's right, Acorns can round every purchase you make up to the dollar and automatically invest your spare change for you. And you can get bonus investments just for buying the stuff you need from the brands you love. I personally love Acorns. It's simplified the investment process, which can be overwhelming and intimidating, but it just makes it so simple, so easy, and something more accessible no matter how much money you have to invest. Head to acorns.com/Alana or download the Acorns app to start saving and investing for your future today. Paid non-client endorsement compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/Alana. I'm super excited about today's sponsor. They've sponsored the podcast before, and this is a topic I'm super passionate about. I fear that us as girls struggle with PMS far more than we should, and we really shouldn't. I truly get the worst PMS symptoms. My boobs are sensitive, my face breaks out, my sugar controllings are out of whack. I feel like I'm just a bottomless pit. My mood is not the vibe, and Estro Control has been super helpful in helping manage those PMS symptoms and making that time of the month a lot more enjoyable. Estro Control is a formula developed by Happy Mammoth, a supplement company dedicated to making women's lives easier. Say no more. Estro Control contains science-backed herbal extracts that help support hormonal health, especially if you are someone like myself who struggles with PMS. It was created to help women feel like themselves all month long and to not struggle with the feelings PMS can cause. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code Alana at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use the code Alana for 15% off today.
Everyone's like, oh, Leo, here we go again, center of attention. Or if like I do something, people are like, oh, what's your sign? And I'm like, Leo. And they're like, I can tell. And I'm like, shut up.
Literally.
But whatever. Okay. Maybe I'll start telling people I'm a Sagittarius or something.
Just lie. No one has to know.
I'll just lie. Change my birthday on Instagram, everything.
Okay. So you mentioned a bit how you have like your online platform, and I noticed, like, I want to say within the past year, correct me if I'm wrong, you grew pretty quickly on both TikTok and Instagram, and I think you also are on YouTube. What drew you to start your platform?
So I've always been passionate about fitness, and then over quarantine, I hit a very low point in my life. I laugh at it now because I laugh at my pain. It's one of my issues. But
same.
I hit a very low. I'm like, it's really not funny at all, but I'm laughing like it's hilarious. I hit a low point in my mental health. My anxiety got very bad. I felt very depressed. It was affecting my relationships with my family. It was affecting relationships with my boyfriend. I was just not in a good place. And basically, the way my anxiety when I found out I had anxiety, I didn't realize it, but I filled my plate up with all of these things. So from 7 a.m. till 8 o'clock at night, I would be out of my house busy. I was a busy girl. So when quarantine happened and everything was forced to stop, I was forced to sit with myself and my thoughts, and it was super shitty. My anxiety got really bad again. I felt very depressed, and I basically was just super bored. I feel like everybody experienced that during lockdown, but I just went through complete boredom. But looking back at it, I'm so beyond grateful for that boredom because it finally let me get creative and have time to make ideas and plan my future out and like really decide what I wanted to do. So I did. At the time, TikTok became such a thing during quarantine. So I made a TikTok and I just started doing the stupid trends, like the renegade, the dancing, like just whatever the fuck was on TikTok. I was just having fun with it. But then I started thinking, I'm like, okay, I really want to start incorporating fitness videos or a fitness account somewhere. And I was like, a lot of my friends aren't on TikTok. So that means a lot of people I don't know won't see my videos. And I was like, yes, that's what I want. So I started making fitness videos on TikTok and they started doing really well. And I feel like my TikTok, once I started being consistent with exercise videos and my Trader Joe's hauls, and people were like, okay, this is what this account is for, that's when I really started to see progress within my account. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I started getting people from my personal life being like, make an Instagram, make an Instagram, make an Instagram. And I was like, fuck it, I'm making an Instagram. So I just kind of went for it. And ever since I started, I think when I first started my Instagram, I was posting every single day. Like every single day I was posting either a picture or a workout. And then on TikTok, I was posting twice a day. So I was being stupid consistent with everything. And I think that's kind of what led to my growth. Also, I've been nothing but genuine and real with my followers. And I think that is so important because when you go to follow somebody, you can honestly tell instantly if this bitch is being fake or if this is actually how they live their life. And I think people are realizing, okay, this is really Tamara. This is how she lives her life. She really does go to groceries like Trader Joe's. She has a stupid obsession with it. She loves working out. Like, I feel like people really understood me for who I was and I was consistent with that. And I still don't understand it. Like, I am still so blown away that I have over 400K on TikTok and 80K on Instagram and almost 10K on YouTube. It's just like, what? Like, you guys actually like me? Like, you guys, I'm like, there's actually room for me? Like, I don't know. It's like so unbelievable and I'm so beyond grateful. But yeah, it's been quite the ride. And I don't regret it for a second because now, like, it is my living and I, like, have my dream job and it's just, I'm going to keep running with it.
That's amazing. I think I get asked a lot, like, how did I grow my page? And like, the number one tip I always give is to like be consistent, like constantly put out content. The more you post, the sooner you're gonna be able to figure out like, okay, what type of content do I like creating? What type of content does really well for me? What type of content are people wanting to see? And that's how you're going to find your voice. You're going to get more comfortable. You're going to be able to be more authentic. People want authenticity. They don't want this fake bullshit. They don't want that perfect sunset and that perfectly posed body all the time. They want to see the person behind that. They want to see like the real, vulnerable person behind the account. So I think what you're doing is amazing.
Thank you. And yeah, I try to show the darkness because I don't know, it pisses me off when there's this like one girl who comes on, she's smiling every day, her hair and makeup is done every single day, and she just looks like she lives the most perfect life because I'm like, no, you don't. Like, why are you putting on this front? I've literally come on my Instagram on some of the worst days of my anxiety and just been like, I don't want to leave my bed. I've honestly been crying all day today. And those are the days where I feel like I get to talk to my followers so much through DMs. It's like they reach out and they're like, I'm so happy you posted this because same thing. And it's like such a way to connect and for them to realize like, oh, you're not just like a made up person. Like you are real. You're a real human being because it can be honestly so easily forgot with social media.
And like, it can be so easy to forget that. I think like a lot of people still like, even if we are real and vulnerable, they forget still that we're humans just like them and we have feelings. And I think it's so important that this like new wave of influencers or content creators, whatever you want to call us, we're being really like open and real and not just like perfectly made up all the time. And I think that's really eye-opening to the younger generations, and it's a good influence and it's a good journey that social media is on.
Yeah, no, for sure. Another part of social media though, and like doing all this and taking on this job is you have to be so ready for the hate. Like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh. When I first started my TikTok, I think TikTok has been the meanest to me. In the beginning, it was definitely the meanest because those are when my videos would go viral and you have the strangers looking in on your life. And everybody has an opinion about you and they feel the need to share it, which is so just cute of them. But I remember in the beginning, I was like, I would get a comment and I would go up to my boyfriend and I would literally pout for like 30 minutes and be so distraught over this random person's comment. And I'd be like, I need to take the video down. Like, why am I doing this? Like, why? And just all these things. And my boyfriend literally had to talk with me and he was like, if you're going to start this, you need to be ready for this. And you need to get a backbone and you need to understand that this is always going to happen. And it doesn't really like mean anything to you. It shouldn't mean anything to you. And so I was like, okay, you're right. Because everyone, especially with food, oh, you should be eating this. You shouldn't be eating this. Oh, these ingredients, do this. Oh, you shouldn't work out this way. And I'm like, I created my account to show my life and how I do things. And that's what you're seeing. If you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to do it. You don't have to eat or do the things that I do, but you followed me to see what I do. And that's what I'm sharing.
Like the unfollow button, it's there if you don't like my content. Like you can leave. I'm not forcing you to be here.
I will hold the door for you. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. A thing that I've been thinking about is everyone is trying to find those people to follow. You're looking for your influencers, but the influencers are looking for their followers. And it's so important to remember that not everyone is going to be your follower. And I feel like in the beginning, I was like, I want everyone to love me. And then as time went on, I was like, actually, I don't care if everyone doesn't love me. If you hate me, that's totally fine. Go away. Like, go find your own influencers and I'll find my own followers. But you're not everyone's cup of tea all the time.
Being super busy can make it really easy to fall into a dinner time recipe rut, or even with your lunches. Any meal, honestly, can get you into a rut, especially with a busy schedule this fall. You can keep mealtime exciting with over 40 recipes to choose from every single week, so there's always something delicious to discover with HelloFresh. It's truly a no-brainer. It does all the shopping and meal planning for you. Ingredients arrive at your doorstep, pre-proportioned and ready to cook, along with pictured step-by-step recipe cards. It's never been easier. I personally love HelloFresh as a way to get exposure to new recipes, make my life a bit easier as a busy 20-year-old in the city. And I love that it's worry-free, it's super easy, it's convenient, and gets delivered straight to my door. Go to hellofresh.com/50ray and use code 50ray for 50% off plus free shipping. That's hellofresh.com/50RAE and use code 50ray 50RAE for 50% off plus free shipping. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit, and thank you for sponsoring today's episode of Morning Ray.
Yeah, and I think that's like a really hard reality for us to face, especially if you are a people pleaser, like you want everyone to like you. And I feel like that's only like magnified more on social media with having a platform. You're like, oh, like everyone has to like me. And you could have like 400,000 people liking you, but if you got one hate comment, it could totally tear you apart. But it's how you react to it and change your mindset around those comments that can really show how strong you are.
Totally. I'm guilty of it. In the beginning, I'd get mean comments and I'd be like, and like I like almost fight back, but not really fight back, but I always felt the need to defend myself. And then I was like, honestly, not saying anything at all or even responding like a heart emoji says enough. Like, yeah, it shows that you are the bigger person. Their comment doesn't affect you. Like, it's their own issue if they're getting that worked up about it.
Yes, preach it to the choir. Oh my
gosh, I could start my own podcast about this topic.
Odds, you should do it.
How to deal with hate.
101.
Seriously, dude, it's cancel culture. Like what's happening right now, I go on TikTok and Sienna is
oh my god
shit, and I'm just like, girl, is everything okay? And honestly, I don't know the details, but all I know is that this girl blew up randomly. She had over 1 million followers overnight, and she's getting torn down just as quick. And that's what's so scary about this job and this cancel culture is it happens to everyone, and it's spooky.
Yeah, and it's like extreme bullying. Like just
Yes.
like you literally hyped her up 2 seconds ago. And like at the end of the day, yes, we put our lives on the internet. Yes, they put their lives on the internet. Yes, they're opening themselves up to this. But does that give you any right to have an opinion, a judgment, and like to comment on what's going on in their personal lives? Like,
No,
yes, you can have it, but keep it to yourself.
like seriously, I genuinely from the bottom of my heart, I've never felt the urge to comment something mean on someone's video. Like that has never even crossed my mind. Even if I disagree with the video and I'm like, this bitch is stupid, like whatever, I just swipe. I have never felt the need to be like, what are you wearing? Or why would you eat? I am just like, okay, girl, that's your life, whatever. Obviously, if it's something like terrible and horrific and racist, then like I'd be more inclined, but like I've just never felt the need to leave a random hate comment on anyone's anything.
Same. Or to message someone like, no, like I don't understand what it is about being behind a screen that someone's morals and values and I don't even know, like, where does your head go when you think that it's okay to leave that comment? And it can be so detrimental. It's literally the reason why Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio don't enjoy posting on their main accounts anymore. They only want to post on like their spam account or burner accounts because they don't get the hate or they don't
Totally.
get it as much on those accounts.
Yeah. I know. It's like it's scary. It can get dark really fast, but that's why it's just important to stay focused on the light of it. Practice
Yeah,
gratitude.
so important. It's always so important to find the silver lining and to attract, put out the energy you want to attract and just be like mindful and really take care of yourself. Going into your health and fitness journey, were you always into health and fitness, or do you think this is something that you kind of grew into as you got older?
I've been active my whole life. So when I was little, I danced and then I think that's when I kind of started getting into the gym because we'd have like the weightlifting room and we'd go in there and we lift before after practice. So it became
Mm-hmm.
common for me, or I just knew about the weightlifting floor. And then once I kind of bounced out of that, I was in a long-term relationship with somebody that loved the gym, like spent 2 hours in there every single day, all of that jazz. So of course, if you're dating that person, you are going to start doing the same thing. So I would start going to the gym with him. He taught me so much about it. I'd spend 2 hours in the gym all the time. And it definitely got me into lifting and made me fall in love with it. And it was also the time where I realized like how my body works. And like all the time on my Instagram, I talk about how I'm quad dominant, how my arms grow so much. And people, I feel like so many times will be like, oh, I'm quad dominant too. And I'm like, no, you're actually not. You're just scared of growing your quads. Like the reason I say that is just because I have been working out for years and I've watched how my body grows and I've taken note of that and I kind of go from there. But anyways, back to the story. I went back to lifting and all that kind of stuff. High school ended, college rolled around, and then I was still lifting. And then I started working at UFC. And at this point, my freshman year, I was like literally the leanest, strongest bitch you've ever met in your entire life. Probably the best shape of my entire life that I've been in. But I was training like an absolute maniac. And I was also eating so much food. I talk about this in my most recent YouTube video. I go way more in depth about my journey, but I was training so much and eating so much, and I was literally in the best shape of my entire life. And then anxiety came into my life. She came knocking on my door and let me know that she does exist. And she rocked my shit. It kind of made me fall off the bandwagon for a while. And then after a few months, I just started getting back into it and I like started messing around with it more. And yeah, now I kind of like fell off for a while and then I started playing with it more. And then quarantine hit. And so then I wasn't able to do anything and I just felt like a couch potato, whatever. And then out of quarantine, you guys have seen everything from there. So, I mean, I've been active my whole life, but there's definitely been some up and downs and phases I've gone through with like not liking this type of workout and then like more enjoying this and whatever. And honestly, that's everybody's fitness journey. If you think that you are going to be doing the same gym lifting routine your entire life, it is not going to happen. Like maybe I'll go through a Pilates phase. Like, I don't know. I'm open for anything.
Yeah, I've totally gone through so many different phases when it comes to working out. I also grew up dancing. So like when people always ask me like, how did you start like on your fitness journey? Like, babe, like I've always been on my fitness journey. Like, yes, originally it was
Yes,
like more
exactly.
like structured and like I had to go to a class and I was kind of told what to do. But when I went to college, I had to kind of figure it out for myself and I started lifting and I was doing HIIT and following all these different programs and I've gone through doing F45 and spin classes and reformer Pilates and mat Pilates and now I'm running and I'm lifting and I'm doing all these different things and it's a journey for a reason. It's always going to
Yes, and
change.
all those things are so important too, like trying out all the different things, because like lifting is not the only thing you can do, and someone might actually fucking hate lifting, but you try yoga and Pilates and you're like, this is my fucking shit. Like, I could do this for the rest of my life. And it's like, cool, that's your thing. And health and fitness doesn't have to be a certain type of exercise. I think it's just finding what you enjoy doing and finding that movement that you love and focusing on that, because I just think that that's when you're going to see the most progress, because you're going to be the most consistent with it.
Yeah, that's like the piece of advice that I always give anyone who's asking, how do you start? Like, how do you find what you enjoy and challenges you mentally and physically? And it's just to start and try anything. Go to gyms or workout classes, have the trial class, do different things, go to Orange Theory, go to F45, go to Soul Cycle, do whatever interests you and eventually you'll find whatever your shit is and that shit could change. It's changed for me so many
Totally.
times, but just
And it's
be
okay.
open. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we touched on food a little bit. You always post what I eat in a days, your Trader Joe's hauls. I wish we had Trader Joe's here in Canada. We sadly do not.
Oh my gosh. I feel like you would be psycho for Trader Joe's. Like, just seeing what you post, I feel like it would be your shit. Like, so up your alley.
We have something called Farm Boy, which is like a Canadian knockoff, and it's pretty small. It's only pretty much like my city, a few cities like nearby, but it's pretty much it's like a similar thing, and I'm obsessed
Yeah.
with it. So I know I'd be obsessed with Trader Joe's, and that would
Yeah.
be a part of my brand if I was American.
No, it's seriously like, I've started to venture off. I've been going to Whole Foods a little bit more, but that's genuinely just for more dairy-free options. Like,
Hmm.
Whole Foods has more dairy-free cheeses, so I like go there more, I feel like.
Yeah. What are your fave go-to meals? I know I'm always asked this, but I want to know what yours are.
Oh my gosh, I am such a phase girl. Like, I will eat the same thing for 3 weeks until I get
Yes.
so sick of it, and then I'm like, okay, I need to change it. I saw your TikTok where it was like, you eat the same 5 meals. I was like, me, bitch, like literally me.
My mom
But
literally lectured me last night. She's like, Alana, you can't keep eating the same thing. I'm like, but I want to.
but you're like, it still tastes good, so why not? I'm the same way with music. If I find a new song that I like, I will listen to it on repeat until I actually hate it.
Same. Like literally on repeat, especially if I'm going on a run now, I'll just play one song the entire time.
Yes, my boyfriend gets so mad at me because there's like your recent songs, and it'll be like the same 5 songs every time he gets in my car. But whatever. Anyways, back to the food. Let's see. Right now, I sitting next to me, I've packed a lunch or dinner for me and Chase to make. We're gonna make pita wraps, so just like chicken, hummus. I got the vegan tzatziki from Trader Joe's. In pita bread, maybe with some lettuce. That's a really good go-to meal for myself. I am obsessed with Mexican food, so I'm a big Mexican bowl girl, or even I'll do like Mexican bowls, or I always do tacos, mahi tacos, mahi tacos. Oh my god, that's like my favorite dinner. I always make pasta because pasta is just so easy. I've been loving the Banza pasta right now. I used to get the lentil pasta from Trader Joe's, and I tried the Banza, and it really hurts my stomach a lot less. It makes me way less bloated and crampy, so I've been loving the Banza. Let's see, what else? What did we just have last night? Or what did I have yesterday? Oh, I'm just a big bowls girl. So filling my like bowl up with as many veggies as I possibly can, and then like some kind of clean protein. Top it off with some bitchin' sauce. Mwah! I probably have that 5 days a week. I don't know. I feel like that's like those are my main. Breakfast is always either some kind of scramble and potatoes or toast, and I'm a big smoothie girl.
What's your favorite smoothie combo?
Right now, I would have to say a green smoothie. So my base is always strawberry and bananas. If you guys watch my videos, you already know that. Spinach, I add some spirulina. I've been doing coconut water for some hydration and then topping it off with hemp milk because it has some extra protein. And then I use Beam products. So I use Beam's peanut butter smoothie flavor in my green smoothies, which really doesn't taste that peanut buttery. It kind of tastes more banana, so it doesn't really mess with the green flavor too much. Chia seeds, hemp hearts, flax meal. Honestly, I kind of open up my pantry and I'm like, what can we throw in? Like, do you do that? Do you have like
Yes.
all of those fun smoothie ingredients and you're like, what else?
Yes, I literally have them all like perfectly put in my mason jars and labeled, and I'll open it
Oh,
up and
you're
I'll be
so
like,
cute.
what do I want to throw in today? What am I going to make it special?
Oh, I love that. I'm not that trendy. I should probably do the mason jar thing. My cabinet with my supplements is horrific, to be honest. But I'm moving out of my apartment. The apartment I have now, I love it, but this is gonna sound like so, oh my god, influencer, but the lighting fucking sucks. I have these like gross black countertops that I hate. Everything's just, I feel like I've just outgrown that space and I'm so ready for the new chapter of my life. So I'm like itching to get out of it, and I've kind of just given up on like fixing and making things cute inside of it because I'm just waiting for the next. I'm just like, give me my new apartment and like I'm gonna fix it up from there.
That's literally me looking at apartments because I'm planning to move out by the end of the summer. And I'm like, I can't live here. Like, I'm looking at apartments photos and I'm like, no, it's too dark. I need the light. It needs to be aesthetic.
I'm like, I want every wall to be made out of windows.
Yes. And it has to be all light and pretty and modern so that I can film.
Exactly. I'm like, my bathroom is gonna be so fucking beautiful, you guys. I don't know. I'm like so ready to get out of my apartment. It's like gloomy, and I talk about it on my social media, but I am so affected by like brightness and darkness. When it's dark out,
Yes.
I like gloomy days. I struggle the most with my mental health. And so the fact that my apartment gets so gloomy itself, it's just like I don't get creative. I don't feel like full of energy when I'm there. I just like want a more creative space, I guess.
Yes, I'm so impacted by the weather and the light and my space. And Canadian winters are not fun. Seasonal affective disorder is real. It gets dark at like 5 p.m. here, sometimes like 4:30 in like the peak of
Oh, I
winter.
cannot.
And it's
I could not.
gloomy.
Oh my gosh. I seriously, Chase went to University of Oregon, and Oregon is like rainy, cloudy, like cold the whole time. And I went to go visit him, and I remember being like, good for you that you went to school here, but I genuinely don't know if I would survive. Like, I would drop out. I would not be able to live in this weather for more than 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's not fun, but you find ways to cope, like taking extra vitamin D and getting like a happy light and all these fun things. But if I could live anywhere else, it would definitely not be Toronto as my top pick. I would definitely pick somewhere like Australia or California.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you one more question and then we're gonna do a fun little rapid fire. So after that,
Cool.
you're just gonna answer them as fast as you can, short and sweet. But
Oh
before we get
shit.
to rapid fire, they're not hard. They're really easy questions. You'll be fine.
I know. It's more, I don't know how to stop talking. So I'm like, fuck, short and sweet, Tamara, short and sweet.
So the last question is, you've always been really intuitive, or at least like that's what you show with your eating on your social media. Were you always like this, or did you ever fall into diet culture at any point in your life?
I have never fallen into diet culture. I have honestly been intuitive my whole life, and I really think it's from my upbringing. My dad, when he cooks dinner, makes enormous serving sizes, so like small serving sizes like wasn't a thing for me. I would just eat until I literally can't eat anymore. And that's how it's been my whole life. Food was never like looked at as a bad thing growing up, and I feel like that's where it affects a lot of people, is like the upbringing, what their moms did. Is your mom a big dieter? Did she all do all of these things? Like, it really affects people. But yeah, I've always been more of an intuitive eater, honestly, just because dieting sucks. I've never been like, okay, let me count my calories. Also, counting macros, I give props to the people that do that, because genuinely it's so much time and so much work. I think I tried to count my macros one time and I didn't even make it through breakfast, because I was like, I don't want to do this for everything else I eat today. So yeah, I've always been an intuitive eater, and that's just kind of been my thing. I don't know. I understand like bulking and cutting and all of that kind of stuff, but for me, I'm just trying to create habits that will last me till I'm 50. I'm not trying to bulk and cut my entire life. I'm just trying to maintain. And yeah, I'm not going to grow my ass as fast as the person that's bulking, but I'll get there eventually, and like I'll be happy with the process. I'm not in any rush, and like I want to enjoy my life while I can, and don't want to feel restricted. So yeah, I've always been an intuitive eater, and I don't really see that changing anytime soon, unless like goals change or whatever.
I love that. I feel like that's definitely where I'm at right now, but I definitely went through periods where I was tracking my macros, I was tracking my calories, I was doing food combining, I was doing all these bullshit diets, and it literally
Yeah,
consumes you, and it's really not worth it. I had a really good relationship with food growing up. Like, I would want to show all the guys like how much I could eat. Like, that was me. Like, we went to like a dessert place, and I'm out here like showing them that I can finish the whole dessert waffle by myself and I don't have to split one with one of my girlfriends. Like,
girl, we're literally the same. It was like a joke all throughout high school and college how much I could eat, because everyone would joke about how often I would ask for people's leftovers. Like, I'd be like, are you done with that? Like, can I finish that for you after I've already finished my own meal? Like, I'm that friend in the group where I'm like, okay, can I have those last few bites that you haven't touched?
yeah, before dance on a Saturday, I was like an Eggo waffle. When I was growing up, I did not eat like healthy by any means. I barely had vegetables or fruit, but I would have like 4 or 5 like Eggo waffles before dance on a Saturday morning. And that was like normal for me. And my friends would be like, what the fuck, Alana?
Yeah, seriously. No, my dad, you should have seen it's like disturbing how much I used to eat. I'm kind of like, how did I consume that much? Because genuinely, I feel like if I tried to sit down and eat that much, I don't think I would be able to fit it into my body. Like, my dad, it was just hilarious growing up, and he still is. I go over there for dinner, and it'll be like the two of us eating spaghetti, and he made a pot that could feed like 12 people, and I'm just like, what? Okay.
That's like my dad too. Like, whenever he would make like pasta or anything, it's like for like there'll be like 4 people in my family, and he'll make it enough for like double or triple. And most of the time,
Yes,
to be honest, we would all have like 2, maybe 3 servings.
totally. And you're so happy about it, and then you have some bomb ass leftovers.
Yes, leftovers are my shit. Okay, now on to rapid fire. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. I think it's 8. Yeah, 8
Okay.
questions. You're gonna try and answer them as fast as you can. It's okay if you
Shit.
ramble a little bit, but it makes it
Okay.
more fun.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, fave workout clothing brand.
Lululemon or Gymshark. I don't know. That's such an I gotta stop talking. Next question.
Fave type of workout.
Lifting.
Fave protein powder flavor.
Peanut butter smoothie from Beam is my shit right now.
That sounds amazing. I actually have
Oh my
Beam
God,
in
so
my
good.
basement. I need to try that flavor.
Yes, it's so good.
Fave form of self-care.
Reading or meditating.
Morning or night routines.
Morning.
Skincare or hair care.
Skincare.
Sneakers or heels.
Sneakers. Oh my God.
Night in or night out.
I'm gonna say night in. I've been so bad about that lately. I never go out anymore.
That's literally me, but you survived rapid fire.
Woo! Oh my gosh, that was hard. I was like, stop talking.
Before we end the podcast, what is one piece of advice you want to leave the listeners with if they didn't listen to anything and they're just going to listen to this?
I'll give you some fitness and personal goal advice. If you are looking at all of your goals right now and it seems like they were all created because you're comparing yourself to somebody else, or you're trying to achieve a body to look like somebody else, or to have a certain trend, or do all of these certain things, reevaluate all your goals. If they're not personal and personal reflections, how will this better my mental health? How will this better my physical health? How will this help me personally and nobody else? Then you have to reevaluate them. I feel like oftentimes we set goals based on trends we see or these people we get obsessed with, but you need to remember that this life is about you and no one else. So make sure your goals are about you too.
Wow, I really like that. Wow. Okay, might have to make it a quote for the podcast Instagram.
Oh, wait, I love that. Please do. I'll post it.
Yes. And plug yourself out. Where can the listeners find you if they aren't following you already?
Hey, you guys. Okay, Tamara.fitness with 3 S's is my IG. TikTok is Tamara A. Anthony. And then YouTube, just look my name up, Tamara Anthony.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on Morning Ray. You're welcome back anytime. And it was a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much. You are such a good host. That's what it's called. You're such a good host.
Thank you. Well, if you like this episode of Morning Ray, make sure to rate, review, and subscribe as it really helps support the pod. I love you guys so much, and we'll chat soon. Bye, guys.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.